Hi guys, do you know the difference between charge cards and credit cards? Do you know when you should get one, when you should get the other, what the relative benefits, pros and cons are? Well, in this video, I will tell you exactly which one you should get, exactly what the differences are, and everything you need to know about one versus the other. Let's start by talking about what charge cards and credit cards are and what the key differences are. Credit cards are probably something you're more familiar with. These are credit products where you can borrow using a piece of plastic. You apply, you get sent a plastic credit card, you can spend on it, you can withdraw cash from it, you can do balance transfers, money transfers to it, you carry a balance, and you have to repay at least a minimum payment every month. There's certain interest rates, fees, etc. associated. That's your everyday usual credit card. Now, how is a charge card different? The main difference is that you can't borrow on a charge card. You have to repay the balance in full every month, and you don't have the luxury of being able to manage your payments and not repay the balance in full. Most charge cards in the UK and the US today are offered by American Express, and certainly if you're a consumer, that is pretty much exclusively where you can get one. Credit cards actually started out as charge cards when they were first invented. The very first credit cards that existed, things like Diners Club, actually were charge cards. So they existed for you to be able to go to restaurants, go to hotels and not have to pay immediately the balance, and be able to settle your bills for all the different restaurants at the end of the month. Credit cards have moved away from that, but charge cards have remained exactly that. You're able to pay for things during the course of the month, and at the end, when your statement's generated, you have to pay the whole balance in full. Why would anyone get charge cards? There are two key reasons. One is the fact that businesses and other entities that don't want to actually borrow money and pay for the privilege quite like having charge cards which have to be repaid in full every month, and some people prefer to use charge cards to credit cards for the benefits and all the pluses that it gives you, and because they don't need to actually borrow the money. I'm going to get into exactly what the benefits are in just a second. Credit cards offer you a lot more flexibility with how much you can repay and want to repay. You can do exactly the same things you do with charge cards and repay your credit cards in full every single month, but you don't have to, and that flexibility is sometimes worth a lot. Now, let's talk about the pros of having a charge card versus having a credit card. The main pro is the range of perks and benefits and things that they throw at you if you get one of these charge cards. We're talking things like travel insurance, which usually is quite good. It will even cover things like extreme sports, skiing. Then there's the travel perks. You're immediately a premium member of various hotel loyalty schemes, air travel loyalty programs, car hire loyalty programs, you name it, they probably have some kind of loyalty benefit for you. The other big benefit if you travel a lot is lounge access. Now, if you're a frequent flyer with your airline, you're probably going to get better lounge access than you will with one of these cards, but if you're not, or if you're traveling with another airline through airports where you don't have those privileges, they will give you access to special lounges just by showing your card when you come in. Quite nice if you do fly a lot. The rewards you get on one of these cards are also typically quite high. You get 1 point per £1 spend with the premium Amex charge cards, and that's quite a lot because 1 point equates to 1 Avios, and that's quite a lot if you think about putting your average monthly spend on it every single month. A lot of other reward schemes with credit cards will offer you considerably less. Sometimes 0.5, frequently 0.25 per pound spent, so it's a pretty big difference. On top of that, the charge cards will often give you an introductory bonus. So today you can get an introductory bonus of 30,000 points if you reach a minimum spending amount on your Amex Platinum card, and that is quite a lot. That allows you to get a return flight to most cities in Europe just for taking out a card and putting your everyday spending on it for 3 months. That's pretty good. Let's talk about some of the negatives of charge cards where credit cards are actually better. Now, the big negative that really is an elephant in the room is the fact that you have to pay a big annual fee. Almost every charge card comes with an annual fee. That's how they earn their money. They don't charge you interest. So the annual membership fee is their big revenue stream. With the Platinum card, which is the best one you can get in the market today, the annual fee is £585, which is quite a lot, plus £285 for each additional card holder, which seems incredible given that you're just paying for that extra piece of plastic. Ultimately, you are still responsible for the debt. So that seems very expensive, but for that you do get a lot of perks, so it depends whether you think it's worth it. Number 2 negative is that you cannot actually borrow using a charge card. Now, you can sort of, which is you can borrow up to about 30 days. From the moment you spend, you can borrow up to when the statement is generated, and there's some number of days before you actually have to make a payment, but you can't roll past that month. You can't go and repay a minimum and then repay the next month or the month after or the month after that. That is a negative if you have a one-off big expenditure, if you're buying a holiday and you're not quite sure exactly how your cash flow is going to go. You don't have any choice, you have to make the full payment. And if you don't, negative number 3 comes in, and negative number 3 is the fact that you have to then pay quite substantial fees. Now in the UK there are regulations around what charge cards, which are covered by the same regulations in lots of cases as credit cards, can charge you. So the late payment fee is just £12, that's the maximum. They don't have an interest rate in your terms and conditions, so there's no interest to pay, but they will charge you reasonable collection costs and legal fees. Now, I don't know what reasonable collection costs and legal fees are. I suggest you don't want to find out because it might be very, very expensive. Number 4 is the big problem that covers not just the American Express charge cards, but also their credit cards, is that they're just generally not accepted everywhere. In the main shops, in supermarkets, and main travel, you will be able to use Amex no problem. And lots of people who live in London don't really appreciate the fact that once you go outside the M25, you can't actually use your American Express in a lot of the shops. The reason is they charge the retailer much more to process. As a result, they get less money back when they receive the payment, so they choose not to use charge cards and American Express for that reason. Another big negative with charge cards versus credit cards is the fact that you don't really get any of the additional everyday credit card perks that you would if you just had a regular credit card where you wouldn't have to pay the big annual fee. I'm talking about things like some of them offer you free to use abroad, some of them will offer you 0% promotional rates, some will offer you small additional perks and benefits here, there, little things thrown at you. With a charge card, you get the premium, very sort of frequent traveler oriented and premium customer oriented perks, like the lounge access, the travel perks, all that. But the little stuff you don't get. Now, who should get a charge card? Who should get a credit card? It really depends on what you want the card for. If you're a frequent traveler, if you like making use of the benefits, and you're somebody who likes gaming the system a lot for getting the points, a charge card can be really great if you manage it well. With a credit card, you also do get the perks sometimes, but probably nowhere near as much as what you can get on a charge card. Now, the key to making the most out of charge cards is not going for the most expensive, the most premium ones, but finding ones just a bit below. There are often schemes where the first year of fees on the Amex Green card or one of the other charge cards is waived for the first year, and if you take one of them out, you can still get the introductory Avios benefit or whatever else you choose to use those points for. Use the card for a year and then close it. In fact, if you close it after a year, they will often let you renew the card for a second year and waive the fee when you're phoning them to close the card. So just check if they do that to you. If not, you can close it 6 months later, you can go and get another one and make use of the benefit again. If you're just wanting a free credit card, you don't want to pay the annual fee, you want to just be able to pay for things in shops, be able to borrow when you need to, have the protection that credit cards give you, and make use of all the other small benefits and the small perks that it gives you, just get a credit card. A charge card is expensive, it doesn't give you the borrowing power, it probably isn't the right product for you. I hope you guys found that useful and interesting and helpful. If you have, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. I release a new video every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so you'll get a notification every time a new one comes out. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.